Good afternoon. Thank you for joining Lena and Nadine's Lovecast. I'm Lena,
And I'm Nadine.
and thank you for joining us. This is a podcast where we talk about love, relationships, and dating.
Yeah, and we encourage your participation. So we hope that you guys will comment, leave opinions, leave questions, and we would definitely like to address those. Make sure that you follow our pages on TikTok, on Instagram, and we also post our full videos on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to that as well.
Also, like and share our page, and we'll greatly appreciate that.
Yes.
But today we're going to talk about loving yourself and what that looks like.
Yeah, that is such a good and important topic, especially when it pertains to dating. So I want to just go ahead and jump in. Why do you think, Helena, why do you think it's important for us to love ourselves, especially when it does pertain to dating?
Well, I think that loving yourself regulates what you're willing to accept and not accept when it comes to dating. It also guides you in how to treat others. It is extremely important, but it's something that you have to learn to do by yourself and on your own outside of dating, but it is definitely important.
Yeah, I think that loving yourself also, you hold a a high level of respect for yourself, and when you can respect yourself, I think that you respect others as well. What do you think?
And well, when it comes to respect, it does create a healthy balance of respect that you have for yourself and your self-worth. When you strip away everything, all the superficial things, what's left of you, what's in your heart, what are the contents of your heart, and those are some of the things that can help you to determine and realize who you really are and love yourself.
Yeah, I agree. So I want to kind of touch on this and maybe we can spend a little bit of time dissecting, we talked about why it's important to love ourselves, and especially when we're in a relationship, but how do we do that? How do we love ourselves? So I want to ask you, what is it that you do to love yourself? How do you do that?
Well, I think that the first step is spending some alone time with yourself, taking some time to think about who am I outside of everything else, outside of anyone's opinion, and things like that. But some of the things that I do to love on myself is think about taking care of myself better, self-care, simple things. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It can be free, things you can do, or it can cost money. Get yourself a manicure and pedicure, get yourself a massage, go for a walk, exercise, take care of, eat healthy. Those things are self-care, and it's part of loving yourself and keeping your body in the best possible shape. Also, when it comes to loving yourself, and when you do bring others in, whether it's in a dating relationship or anything else, having healthy boundaries is also important. And being able to communicate to other people what's acceptable and what's not acceptable.
I think having those boundaries, that is such a key point right there.
Yes.
And, knowing what your boundaries are, what you won't accept, what is not okay for you, what, is unhealthy for you, that is so important so that you know how and where you're going to set those boundaries. So when they are crossed, you know that, okay, this isn't okay for me.
Right.
I wanted to go back and talk about the self-care a little bit more too, because like you said, it's not always about, spending money, right? Although I'll say for myself, I do enjoy, my nail appointments and my hair appointments, and all that is definitely self-care. And spending alone time with myself is important. I will take myself to a nice dinner, or I will take myself out to a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that also helps me to build confidence as well,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So it's like when you're going into a dating relationship where you feel confident in yourself, when you respect yourself, all that stuff, all that is loving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy is, you know, I think a great healthy thing to do, because you can discuss things, some of your past traumas that you might not even known that you've had. And I think that may help break cycles in relationships and situations that you may have had before that didn't work for you. So
yes, and I agree. And also self-talk. A lot of people may not talk about this, but this is just what you tell yourself about yourself. Are you saying anything negative, or like, for example, like I would say, oh, I don't like how my stomach looks in this particular dress, or or say something negative about myself. That's not healthy.
It's not.
I realized I needed to speak life. I needed to speak positive things about myself. So you have to just train yourself to become more mindful of the types of things that you're actually saying to yourself, because that can kill your self-esteem.
Those affirmations to yourself is so important. You know, you have to make sure that you are positive and you're kind with yourself as well. We all have flaws, right? None of us are perfect, but try not to highlight all of your flaws as if there's nothing good about you, because there's so much good. We are made in the image of God, and so we are wonderfully and fearfully made, right? So and speaking of God, that's another point or focus for me, you know, and self-love is really learning who God made me to be, why I'm here, what my purpose is. And I know that my purpose is not to be disrespected, to be mistreated, and to be abused.
Right. And with God, it's about not only knowing who you are, but whose you are, and knowing what God said about you, that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Your price is more than rubies. You know, all these things that the Bible says about us. It's helpful, extremely helpful in understanding who you are when everything else is stripped away, when you don't have anything left but you to think about, and who you are at your core. It helped me a lot.
It did too. It really did too. So growing my relationship with God has definitely helped me to get to a place of, you know, healthy balance when I do date, to know that, you know, I'm deserving, I'm worthy, I know my value, and I love myself. And I think that when you do love yourself, that you have the best experiences in dating, because I mean, you're putting your best foot forward, you're coming with a positive and good and happy energy, and they're actually getting the best of you, and in return, you know, you may end up getting the best of them, hopefully, right? But if we don't, then we know that we deserve better, and then that's when we know that, you know, we won't really accept, you know, just anything.
Right. And a lot of us, we have really busy schedules. So just finding time for yourself in the first place can be a challenge. It definitely is for me. So, you know, having some alone time for myself, take a nice hot bath, you know, relax, just meditate or look at the sky, not think about anything, which is almost impossible for me, because there's always something going on, but just enjoying peace. Your peace is extremely, extremely valuable. And getting to a place in your life where you can have peace, it's life changing. It definitely is for me.
And you won't let anybody disrupt that peace. Once you find that
Right.
peace, it is so valuable that you're not going to let anybody come in and disrupt that peace.
Right.
And also, because we have such little time, we're so busy with work, we're busy with children and family and friends. It's like you find your time becomes valuable. So when you're dating, it's like you don't want to waste your time with nonsense. I mean, for lack of better words, or like just a situation where it's not for you. You're not going to waste your time anymore. You're going to move on, because I know personally I don't have that kind of time to waste and be in a situation or relationship where I'm not valued and where I don't see a future. What's the point? So it's like I'm moving on, Yeah.
And a lot of times, well, at least for me, at certain points in my life, I didn't know where to start with the self-love and how to do that and type of thing. If that is your situation, talk to other people and see what they do. Talk to a therapist about it. Like Nadine mentioned earlier, make a list of some things that you would like to do for yourself, or you've wanted others to do for you, but it's never happened. And now you have an opportunity to do those things for yourself, because other people are not going to love you more than you love you. And please, keep in mind, like when I talk about self-love, my self-love, it's not an arrogant approach or a narcissist approach. It's a healthy balance. It's knowing your value, respecting yourself, taking care of yourself, and being able to love
selfish.
Right. It's not selfish, and it's loving yourself the right way, and then you'll be able to love other people the right way and treat other people the right way.
Agreed. So yeah, I think that wraps up our episode or video about self-love. Guys, please leave comments and let us know what you think. How are ways that you love yourself? What are things that you do? Let us know.
And again, like our page, share our page, and keep watching.
All right, thank you.
Take care.